And now, dispatches from the General.
All right. Shout out to the great people of Iowa who have managed to fuck up the election on day one. When is the last time anyone ever called Iowa for a big decision? Has anyone in the world ever had a big personal decision to make? You know, like picking the leader of the free world and then going, let me see what my friends in Iowa would do in this situation. So
That's why I left Iowa, Jeff.
you were in Iowa?
I was born in Spencer, Iowa.
All right. Shout out to my pal Bernie Shine, the great magician who's here today. Shout out to the great people of Miami who hosted a fantastic, epic Super Bowl weekend in Miami. I went down there. I had a blast. Shout out to my fans who came out to the shows that I did down there. And shout out to my friend Jeff Beecher for getting me a ticket. Shout out to Lady Gaga, who brought her parents and sister and boyfriend into our box and danced with us during the Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh, my God.
Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs, who, if I recall correctly, won the Super Bowl. Shout out to my fans in Phoenix. I'm coming out this weekend to CB Live and to Stand Up Live. So go to roastmastergeneral.com. Come see me this weekend in Phoenix, February 6th, 7th, 8th. I can't wait. Going to be an amazing time. Shout out to all the Bumping Mics fans. We're going to be in Milwaukee, Chicago, Des Moines, Iowa. April 3rd. Maybe they'll figure out who won the fucking election by then. Then the next day we'll be in Kansas City, April 4th, April 16th in New Jersey, April 17th in New York at Tarrytown Music Hall, and a lot more shows. So roastmastergeneral.com for ticks. Come see me solo. Come see me do some bumpin' mic shows. And I love my fans. All right, enough dispatches. Ed, let's start the show. What up, my Eshes, my emotional support humans, Eshes. I hope you're all living your best life. I know I've been. Happy to be home, back in the bunker after a crazy, over-the-top weekend in Miami, Super Bowl weekend, man. It was just so much fun. And a lot of people telling me they're listening to the podcast. I was in Miami, and a lot of people mentioned it to me. So I know we're growing, and I know we're making a difference in people's lives. Some people tune in just for a laugh. Some people tune in to get cheered up. And that's what this show is all about. So, once again, live from the bunker, welcome to Thick Skin with Jeff Ross. I always say life is hard, but don't worry. We're getting through it together. Cousin Ed, hi Ed.
What's going on, bud?
Ed has prepared a mediocre show for you.
Halfway
time.
decent, I would prefer to say.
And we have a mediocre, halfway decent guest. Sitting in just for fun is our good friend, master magician, Bernie Shine.
How you doing, Jeff?
Doing great, Bernie. You look fantastic.
Thank you, pal.
For a podcast.
Yes, yeah.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen you wearing colors.
Yeah, I normally am black.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm feeling cheery. It's daytime.
Yeah.
This is black suits have all the secret pockets.
Yeah, that's right. It does have
the magic. So, did you? Are you following the election? Did you see that craziness?
I did see that craziness. You know, it happened in 2012 with the Republicans in Iowa as well, where they were, where they're calling what's his name, Rick
Santorum,
or Romney. So this isn't limited just to the Democrats. It happened with the Republicans in Iowa in 2012. And they probably should lose the caucuses and just have a primary because they don't seem to be able to get their act together. That's one of the reasons I left Iowa, by the way.
You lived in Iowa?
I lived in Iowa. I left Iowa at 7. I went all the way through high school. Spencer, Iowa, near such major metropolitan areas as Milford, Fostoria, and Lake Okoboji. When I left Iowa, when I left Spencer, Iowa, the Jewish population decreased 20%.
Really?
They had a parade.
Really?
I'm kidding about that.
Wow.
Goodbye, Jews.
Finally.
Wow. I had no idea you were an Iowan.
Yes.
That's wonderful, Bernie. Well, we're happy to see you, man. Great
Thank
to
you,
see
pal.
you. Look great.
Thank you.
Great to see you too, Ed.
Glad to see someone taking over, fucking up the election from Florida.
Yeah. I know we have some touchy subjects, and we have a special roast in peace at the end of the show, paying tribute to the late, great 2019 San Francisco 49ers team, who are now defunct Super Bowl losers. We will pay tribute to them a little bit later. And what are we going to do? Birthday shout-outs.
We got birthday shout-outs. We got some listener mail. What are you thinking?
Quick happy birthday to the great rock legend Alice Cooper, who turns 137 this week. How old is Alice?
I think he's 71. I'll look it up.
You know what? I asked him the other day. He said he's 71. He's going to be 71. You're absolutely right. Our friend Wendy Ellis invited us down to what was it? A K-Rock.
It was Jonesy's Jukebox live Friday afternoon from the Viper Room.
Yeah, Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols, Jonesy. He has a radio show, and he interviews rock stars sometimes. And we got to go down and listen to a Sex Pistol talk to Alice Cooper, and got to meet them both afterwards. And Jonesy was obsessed with my Popeye shirt. I told him I'd find him one, but I probably won't. He really wanted mine. He asked me what size it was. I'm like, all right, I'm a fan, but I'm not giving you my shirt in the middle of the Viper Room.
Or your shirt size.
Yeah. And Alice Cooper, he's as funny as a comedian.
He was hilarious.
He has great stories, great timing.
Sharp, too.
Talked about how he once performed at a birthday party for Lenny Bruce. I mean,
Nothing's cooler than that.
Alice Cooper, great, cool guy, and a rock pioneer. I mean, he was doing Kiss before Kiss. That's what people say. And I love Kiss. So
yeah,
he was wearing the makeup and doing a very theatrical show.
Oh, yeah, guillotines and all that stuff. He was the best, man. I mean, he still is the best. He's going back on tour.
School's out for the summer.
What do you like better? You like 70s or 80s Cooper more?
I like the original 70s Alice Cooper.
I mean, it's the best.
School's out and
$1 Billion Babies.
I'm Elected. Is that the song?
I think so, yeah.
I'm elected. Yeah, man, he's great. Shout out to Alice Cooper.
No More Mr. Nice Guy. That should be your theme song.
Yeah, as an insult comic. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Dun, dun.
What did Rickles had? What was his? I am a nice guy.
I'm a nice guy. Yeah, I'm a nice guy. I don't even think Rickles knew the lyrics to that song.
But he also had
that was his theme song.
The bullfighter theme, though, too.
Oh, yes.
No. In the beginning, he would come out to the bullfighter.
Yeah.
Bum, ba, da, ba, and the curtain would open and Rickles would walk out. But then at the end, he would sing, I'm a nice guy.
At the end, he couldn't walk out because he had that issue of flesh. I had something with his knee, flesh eating.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Nobody would had opened the curtain. He was sitting at the very end.
All right. Well, sorry. I didn't know you were an Olympic decathlon athlete. You kick the guy when he's gone.
I saw him when he was 90, and Regis opened for him. And I remember when we were leaving, this is one of my better moments of my life. I was holding the door open for some little old lady, and then she was walking out. She was talking to her family, and she was just like, he's not as funny as he used to be. And I was like, either are you.
That's
It was unbelievable. Every time he dropped the mic, he used to have his guy come around and pick it up for him.
Right.
Tony O.
Right. So what's our listener mail?
Our listener mail. We got some cool listener mail. It's a question for Caesar Milan because this comes from Andy Ferguson of Portland, Oregon. He wants us to ask Caesar a question about his dog, but we do not have that kind of access to Caesar. So we will try our best to answer.
Caesar was on our show.
He was on our show.
So this was supposed to be for that show?
No, after he thought that we know him, and he said this after we did the show.
I know him.
Well, he
What's the
does know him.
question?
Yeah, and so the question is, I'm having a hard time training my 2-year-old, half blue heeler, half Aussie Shepherd, from barking when anyone comes to the front door. He's extremely intelligent and understands he's not supposed to do it, but I think he gets too excited to help himself. What kind of training would you recommend? Now, Jeff, what do you think he should do?
Let's call Caesar. I think that you should put the dog to sleep.
Oh,
That
it was a
sounded more-
dog. I didn't understand it was a dog. I thought it was his 2-year-old.
No,
It was a dog.
Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer.
So what's he do?
I think he's got to put the dog down.
Yeah.
No,
Either
no.
that or get rid of the door.
Get rid of the door.
Or don't have guests.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could, kill the dog. Don't have guests.
Forget about killing the dog. That's a
Get
bad
rid of
idea.
the
That was
door.
a joke. That was a joke.
It was a
Yeah,
joke. It's not a real
well,
joke.
well.
You get so. I love how emotional you are with
Yeah,
animals.
well, it's,
You're a sweet man, Bernie.
people are my least favorite species. I can tolerate about 50% of them.
I hate mosquitoes.
Does your dog bark when people come into the house?
I don't have anyone come to the house. So,
You don't?
No. She barks, yes, but it's more of a greeting. It's a friendly,
Right.
know. She thinks everyone's there to see her.
I see. That's Maggie.
And yes, and generally they are.
What kind of dog do you have? A
She's a Shar-Pei,
Shar-Pei.
and it hurts both of our feelings when people say we look alike.
That's good.
This guy could rub peanut butter all over his door, maybe.
Yeah.
Keep the dog just licking the door and won't be barking at it.
Maybe that's the key.
Andy, I really appreciate the email and the question, but we're not dog whisperers.
We need better viewer mail, listener mail.
Yeah.
Roastmaster, what is it?
It's thickskinwithjeffross@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Hit us up, ask us whatever you want, and we'll be sure to talk to you on the show. We love hearing from you guys.
Yeah. Except that time.
Oh, man. So how was your Super Bowl, Jeff? You went.
I got a ticket last minute, so I stayed an extra day, and I really tried it. I'm sorry I didn't get you a ticket.
Oh, yeah, it was fine. I
put
actually
it up-
was thrilled to skip it.
I put it on Twitter, I put it on Instagram, and I got one ticket, not two, and I went. And you were very gracious about it. Would have been fun to go with you.
Yeah.
But I had a blast. It was so much fun. I love the spectacle. I didn't care that much about the game this time. I've gone to games that I care about. I took my nephews to see Seattle win a Super Bowl and Seattle lose a Super Bowl in the past. And I went once in Florida because Kiss was playing the halftime show. And
Oh, hell yeah.
this one I just went because I was down there already. And after my shows ended on Saturday, I was like, man, I'm in Miami. Let me try to go to the Super Bowl. It's 20 minutes away. And was lucky enough to get a ticket. Probably could have sold it for $10,000 because it was a box seat.
Oh, wow.
It was a perfect day. And it had been raining all weekend in Miami. And suddenly it was just a beautiful Sunday. And I Ubered to Hard Rock Stadium, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And very well run. Not anything like what I'm used to in New York, where the security guards will beat you up. Where it was just a lovely, lovely experience. And as soon as you walk in, you just start seeing everybody. Everybody's at the Super Bowl.
Who'd you see?
I saw Gaga.
Yeah.
That was really fun. And we actually danced. Our whole box got up and danced during the halftime show when Shakira and J-Lo came out.
That was cool.
And got to meet Gaga's family, and they were just lovely. And she couldn't have been more gracious. And she asked me if I wanted a picture, and she thanked me for letting her crash my box, which wasn't really even my box. It was just a really kind of fun. And I saw Cedric the Entertainer the second I walked in, and Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, the receiver from the Cardinals from Phoenix.
Very nice guy. And a lot of football players I didn't recognize all the time. You know, it's tricky.
Yeah, because they always got their helmets on.
I met Demi Lovato, who was lovely. She sang the national anthem.
Crushed it.
She wrote 10 years ago on Twitter that it's her dream to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl.
Wow.
And 10 years later, she actually did it.
Put it out there, man. That's all you got to do. Write down your goals, and then it's easier to achieve. You know what you want.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Who else was there? Let me think.
You saw Kornstein?
I saw my friend Mark and Natasha and Danny Kornstein and their parents, Sheila and David Kornstein, my friend David Kornstein, who's the current U.S. ambassador to Hungary. So he was visiting from Budapest.
I knew the prior ambassador to Hungary, which was Colleen Bell.
Oh, isn't that crazy?
But from the Brad Bell's wife, who is the showrunner for Bold and Beautiful.
Oh, okay.
This must be a Republican. It must be
Of course.
a Trump appointee.
Of course.
Well, she had to replace Colleen Bell.
Yeah.
Well, that's
my friend
interesting.
David Kornstein, doing a good job, actually. Hasn't gotten himself embroiled into anything too crazy. Seems to be spreading a lot of good American charm to the people in Hungary. And he threw a big party for there, and he brought Paul Anka out to sing My Way to all the Hungarians. And
Paul Anka's doing all the Sinatra stuff now. He got a show doing all this, and I don't know why he just doesn't do Paul Anka. He's doing all the Sinatra.
Paul Anka has a lot of good songs. But anyway, I saw Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, that's a good one.
Just at the Super Bowl. I don't know how she has the energy to like handle all this stuff all the time. But yeah, Nancy Pelosi was there, and she let me take a picture with her. She was really sweet, and I gave her a hug, told her to keep working hard for America, fighting the good fight. She was just totally cool and a boss, just a total boss. I saw John Hamm, the great actor. I saw Paul Rudd and Josh Charles and my friend Tall John, all big Kansas City fans. They're actually still in Kansas. They're headed to Kansas City for the parade tomorrow. So all my nutty super KC people, shout out to you.
Congrats. 50 years since they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is pretty nuts. I saw Eric and Laura Trump.
Oh, thank God.
Walking through the parking lot on my way out. Had a cordial interaction with them. I do like that you can see Republicans and Democrats at the games. I do think, as divided as everything is right now, some things can sort of bring people together. It's impossible to move the world forward if we have our backs to each other. So little things like football, for what it's worth, help humanize the other side.
You saw Jay-Z and Beyonce didn't stand during the national anthem. They're catching some heat for it.
I know. I thought that was interesting because Demi Lovato went through so much to get that spot, and she's been to hell and back with rehab and addictions, and they're musicians. I don't know. Maybe
What are the chances they just weren't paying attention?
Just oh my God! We saw Trump. Did you see the video of Trump conducting?
Oh yeah, he was a class act during the. Donald Trump was seen. There was a video taken of him watching the Super Bowl at Mar-a-Lago. Melania and Barron are sitting there holding their right hand over their heart.
There.
Yeah,
not sitting there, standing.
Standing, putting their hand over their hearts, and Donald Trump was fidgeting and conducting and
clowning around
during the national anthem. It was something that he told people was not allowed.
Yeah, so what?
So what?
There's so much fucked up stuff. This is not the thing to go after.
You don't think so?
This is a distraction from what's really happening, which is
it's true.
Skating through the impeachment process.
Yeah, he wants us to talk about this.
Well, but the thing with the conducting and clowning around is that he's been so critical of anyone else who
very hypocritical.
Yeah, critical and hypocritical.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, calling out Trump for being a hypocrite is
that's true.
That's
like saying, Luna, why did you eat so fast to a dog? Like that's not the problem anymore.
What about?
We should tell people that Luna's your dog. And
No, they know.
Oh, they know by now. We got someone brought us some treats.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Luna.
That was nice.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We'll have to give you a shout out on the next show. I have your business card still.
Yeah, we got some doggy treats down from a fan in Miami.
Some ostrich treats and some octopus treats.
oh my God.
Yeah. What about what do you think of the halftime show? I mean, obviously you were watching it with Lady Gaga, so that's unbelievable. You probably didn't even have time to really enjoy it.
No, we enjoyed it. It was super sexy. We were all dancing. I love Shakira.
I like that it was Shakira almost like versus J-Lo. Like the halftime show was like another Super Bowl.
Right. It was like a booty battle. But I like that they're bringing, for a few years, you didn't see a lot of sexiness around the Super Bowl because it was a different environment and the climate was very...
Well, the Janet Jackson thing killed it.
Not even that. It was more like the Me Too movement and Weinstein and all that stuff happened. And then they were like, all right, well, we better just get Maroon 5 last year. And I said something like that in front of Gaga and her family. I was like, I'm glad they're bringing sex back into the halftime show. I haven't seen that in a long time. And then I looked it up, and she did the show like 3 years ago. So, so I did get a weird look. It's like, you
That's so
little
funny.
monster.
So if you have to pick one, you team Shakira or you team J-Lo?
Team all three of us together. It was fun. I saw Cardi B. She did a pop-up show.
What?
At one of the parties, and I saw Black Eyed Peas at the Sports Illustrated party, and
So what are these parties? So you went to like the crazy Super Bowl parties. I went home and hung out with my friends. But
after my Saturday night show,
talk about this.
I did a full-on hour drive into Miami Beach to see some of the parties. I had a lot of friends in town, and
very cool.
it's a big party, man. I love being where the action is. You know
so
me.
what, Cardi B just performed at the party?
Yeah, at 3:30 in the morning she went on.
What?
Yeah, it was nuts.
That's insane.
It's so insane.
How is she prepared? Does it I
don't know. I didn't even know. I turn around and there she was.
That's insane to me. How was she?
She was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was throwing cash and dancing with a bunch of crazy chicks on stage, and
that's amazing.
And she announced her engagement. She's going to marry Sting. She's going to be Cardi B Sting.
Did you do a speed roast at this party?
No.
No?
I did some speed though.
You did some speed?
No. I didn't want to get too wasted. It was fun, man. Really fun. Just glad I went into the Super Bowl. And I am going to NBA All-Star Weekend also. I don't want to say too much yet until it's all official, but keep on the lookout. Got some big stuff coming up at NBA All-Star Weekend. Because the Roastmaster likes to be where the action is.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So, we have some touchy subjects, Ed?
Yeah, we got a couple touchy subjects.
All right, let's get into it. It's time for touchy subjects.
Touchy subjects.
The first touchy subject is something we lightly touched on earlier today, and that is the 2020 Iowa caucuses. The results are still trickling in, but it looks like Mayor Pete is going to take this one. He's number one. No one saw that coming. At least, I'm sure a couple people did, but I certainly didn't. He's at 26.9%. There's 62% of the vote is in right now. Bernie Sanders is directly behind him with 25%. Warren with 18%, and Biden number 4 with 15%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very, very interesting. A lot of surprises. People thought Biden was going to take it.
They didn't have the results until very late at night, and I was like, wow, Mayor Pete is up way past his bedtime. His mom's probably outside waiting for him.
What do you think, Bernie? Did you think he was going to do this good?
Well, Iowa has a very liberal side to it. It was one of the Obama carried Iowa twice. Mm-hmm. And when he won what really catapulted Obama in the presidency is he not only carried the Iowa caucuses, but then he got the endorsement from Ted Kennedy and from Oprah. Mm-hmm. And Iowa also one of the first states to legalize gay marriage. So it has a a duality to it.
Yeah.
It's definitely has a very liberal bend. Obviously there's Republicans in Iowa, but
Of course.
And
it's
Trump,
a surprising
Trump won the Republican caucus.
Yeah,
by
that's a
landslide.
shock.
Yeah.
No one ran against him, right?
Well,
Well,
they had
it-
a couple people, but
I mean,
they
we
didn't
don't
do
even know
very
who
well.
they are.
They're like two generic names that I can't remember. I looked it up this morning. It's like John Bell and
John
Phil
Bolton.
Smith. Yeah.
All the Yang Heat, 1% voted.
Is that all he got?
That's all he got.
Now Chappelle has endorsed him,
Yeah.
and I think my friend comic Joe Wong has been a supporter of him. I know he did some kind of a broadcast with. I'm surprised Yang didn't do better, actually.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people are. He's very popular right now, and he did not pull that many votes.
Because Chappelle's been on the phone. It's your buddy.
I
Chappelle.
saw that. Yeah, Dave Chappelle, but he keeps saying Yang Gang all day, but hey, then there's still a long way to go.
Yeah.
There's still many, 49 more states to fuck up their caucuses too.
Well, they don't all have caucuses. Some have primaries.
Right.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, I don't have the stomach for it. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a crazy year of politics.
I wouldn't count Bloomberg out either.
He got 0.0.
He
Well,
wasn't
but
on the list.
he didn't do anything in Iowa.
He wasn't on the Iowa ballot. But I will say, with all the stuff that's going on between impeachment and the elections and the caucusing, it got so overwhelming and depressed last night that I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ordered some Indian food, smoked a joint, and watched 3 episodes of West Wing. Now, West Wing is the most perfect government, right? I mean, you have a smart president and people with scruples and a very fair, bipartisan camaraderie, and it's just a beautifully written. It's poetry by Aaron Sorkin. It's probably 20 years old already, but
Yeah.
Martin Sheen plays President Jeb Bartlett, who's an economist who won a Nobel Prize and then now he's the president, and it's just beautiful.
Never watched that show. I got to get into it. Every single person I know and respect loves it.
If you ever want to feel better, it's like it cheered me up a little bit. I'm like, this is what it could be. This is what life could be. All right. Well, I hope they figure out what happened in Iowa.
Yeah, I mean,
Sometime
it's still
before I'm there in April 3rd, bumping mics. Come on out.
it's still anyone's race.
at
It's
Des
still
Moines.
anyone's race.
Yeah, I'll be in Des Moines, Iowa, at the Hoyt Sherman Place, April 3rd, bumping it out with Dave Attell. What's next, Ed?
All right. A school played The Lion King, the new one, at a fundraising event back in November, and now it has to pay 1/3 of what it raised back to Disney.
And it was a charity thing for the school, and the I don't know if it's Disney or the people that handle the license for it.
Yes.
It's $250. They've got to pay. I mean, they have the nerve to ask the school to pay $250.
Well, you're a big Disney collector, right?
Yeah, yes, I am a very big Disney
How
collector.
big of a collection do you have in your?
Well,
in
it's
your mansion?
all 1930s, and it's all
Oh, really?
yeah, Mickey Mouse and as Minnie, the main characters, and all from the 1930s. How many pieces? Geez, I have no idea. Let's put it this way: I bought the house to accommodate the collection.
Really?
Yeah.
So this school did a fundraiser, and they performed. How old are these kids?
It was for it was in Berkeley, California, and it was for Parents' Night Out fundraiser. So it wasn't even really even the kids that were there. It was Emerson Elementary School. This is coming from CNN. Received an email from a licensing company Thursday, more than 2 months after the event, saying they had to pay $250 for illegally screening the movie. One of the dads bought the movie at Best Buy, and then he owned it, so they had no idea that they were actually breaking any rules.
Oh, it was a screening. I thought they did the play.
No.
And they did it at a fundraiser, and to have the nerve to send the school a letter asking for $250 instead of just.
Sorry, I'm going to side with Disney. I feel bad for the charity. As a matter of fact, if it's only $250, I will.
You'll pay it?
I'll pay it.
Whoa!
So hit me up.
Emerson Elementary School. You heard it here first.
I'm happy to cover it if they're really screwed. But one of these parents should cough it up. And by the way, Disney has to protect not just their company but the rights of the artists and so on. You can't just use a movie to raise money. You can't charge. I can't show Lion King and charge money.
It was such an innocent thing, and I'm not sure it was Disney. I think it was a licensing agent. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
it's who works for Disney. It was their bad guy.
Well, it may be an independent, contractor that's, I just think just from the PR standpoint, it's a bad optics to send a letter like that for $250. Sometimes you can just try and turn a blind eye and let it go.
Yeah, but if you let it go, then other people will feel like they could do it.
That's the thing. Yeah, that is the problem. Now, next thing you know, we got jerk-offs all over the place playing the Lion King, and we got to take care of Mr. Favreau. But check this out. Berkeley City Council member Lori Drost, who's also a parent at Emerson Elementary, believes Disney's being unfair. She says that there was an initiative passed in 1979 called Proposition 13, which cast the property tax on all land. So Disney's property tax rates are at 1978 values, which translates into millions upon millions of dollars a year that Disney is not paying.
Which would have gone, a lot of that would have gone to schools.
Would have gone to the school, and they wouldn't have had to do the fundraiser in the first place. So because of that, our schools are now extremely underfunded, and we went from the 70s being among the top education systems in the U.S. to one of the lowest now. So she feels like that maybe Disney should settle this before they ask for their $250.
Well, it's a pretty smart argument. I have to say that. I give her a lot. I have to say kudos to her. It's a really good argument.
All right. Well, shout out to the Lion King. Still roaring after all these years.
Are you still screening it later for your group upstairs? Or?
Yeah.
It's $4 a ticket if anybody wants to come. Doing a Lion King screening in my house.
Right before that's Jeff's new opener. It's the Circle of Life.
Now it's going to cost him. Now it's going to cost him $500 instead of the $250 that he's pledged to the school.
What's next, Ed?
We got some more Disney news. Are you at Disney?
This is for you, Bernie, because you have such a big Disney collection. Right. What's in your collection, by the way?
Yeah, let's talk about this.
We've seen it. Jeff had tell him the line you had.
You tell him.
No, it's too harsh.
You walk into Bernie's mansion. It's a gigantic white mansion with glass everywhere and just a modern, beautiful house. And there's probably 10,000 pieces.
Toys, yeah.
Disney stuff.
Yeah.
From the 1930s.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what was the line?
Well, you don't remember?
No.
You said Bernie has more toys in his living room than Jerry Sandusky has in his basement. Oh, horrible.
That's hilarious. Oh, man. You've invited me. I got to come check it out. I'm a Disney
Anytime, Eddie. You're always welcome.
So cool.
That is really cool.
What was the story?
I'm doing some stuff for the magical world of Mickey, too.
Are you?
I'm playing a ghost on one of their Disney Plus cartoons with Mickey Mouse.
That is
Are you doing the voiceover for a ghost?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It'll be fun.
Well, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah. When I record it soon, you can come with me if you want.
That'd be great. That'd be fun.
Congrats, man. That's amazing.
So what's your other Disney story?
Disney paid $75 million for worldwide movie rights to Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton, the biggest film acquisition deal ever.
Well, no wonder they need the $250.
They literally are spending $75 million and then hitting up a school for $250.
Wow.
So this come from Deadline.
Good for Hamilton.
Oh, I think it's the coolest. And this isn't even like they're not making a new movie. This is a movie that exists already. It's filming of the play live, but with the original cast before they disbanded it.
So they bought the rights to it?
Yeah, So they bought, and it's going to go to Disney Plus. $75 million for the 2-hour and 40-minute movie, and it was shot over the last couple days of the actual run of the original cast, and then they even shot some more scenes with no audience in the theater to kind of cover it up. Wow. But it's a live play.
Well, that's very cool.
I haven't seen too much of that. That'll be cool.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting new way to do it, and hopefully they'll eventually make the actual.
Because a
movie.
lot of these gigantic musicals, they turn into terrible movies.
Yeah, but this is like we're actually going to get to see the movie or the play that no one could actually afford to go see.
Mm-hmm.
You went and saw Hamilton and sat in the back row.
You know, it was Lynn's like second to last show. So my friend Andrew Jarecki and I, we dug up tickets somehow. We paid an astronomical amount of money, sat in the very, very top last row of the theater, and I could barely hear. I could barely see. I mean, from where I was sitting, it looked like Hamilton was played by a Puerto Rican guy or something. Like it was so far away, and the sound. For a Broadway musical, you'd expect great sound. The sound was terrible. Like it sounded like they were rapping or something. So, shout out to Hamilton and Lin-Manuel for making that awesome deal for him and his cast. What's next, Ed?
All right, Bernie.
Yes, sir.
We made these like specifically for you today, a bunch of them, and this
No,
one.
it means
this,
I actually have to pay attention. All right,
you
go
actually
ahead.
have to pay attention. This
right.
one's for your love of animals.
Oh, there we go.
Brian Wilson is asking us to boycott the Beach Boys,
His own band.
his own band that he's no longer a part of. He
Right.
tours by himself now. He hasn't
Right.
toured with the Beach Boys since 2012.
Right.
Him and Al Jardine. But Mike Love, who is the other leader of the band, is doing a show for the Safari Club, and the keynote speaker at the annual convention in Nevada is Donald Trump Jr. And this is for this club, the Safari Club. It's for hunters.
Yeah, the serial animal killers.
Yeah, no, it's for them, and so so they had the petition has over 70,000 signatures as of this point.
Round,
70,000.
round, get around. I fire rounds.
Wait a minute. Tell them where they can sign the petition, will you? Because there's going to have 70,001 when I get home.
Oh man, the online petition is over at change.org. Tell the Beach Boys to say no to trophy hunting.
Bravo.
Oh, and how about this? It's already up to 111,000, and it just keeps going up as I'm looking at it.
Boy, this podcast really had an effect. It went up 31,000 people here in the last. I didn't realize you had so many listeners.
Yeah, so this is Brian Wilson's petition, and it says, "Wouldn't it be nice if all the Beach
Wouldn't
Boys
it be nice
stayed away from
if-
killing animals for fun?"
Well, bravo, Brian. I'm on the same page.
Yeah, no, this is good for him. I love watching people like stand up to their own like themselves almost.
I knew all I needed to know about little Donald Trump when I saw his foot on top of a dead elephant and the tail cut off of an elephant. That's all I needed to know about this human being, or this human being. I use that liberally.
It's too sad.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I saw some photographs upstairs. You just had an encounter with live elephants.
Yeah.
In Monterey.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. I met my first elephant. Like really met this elephant.
That's fabulous.
Took my girlfriend to an animal rescue zoo, I guess, a very humane zoo with only a few animals, and I got to actually feed and bathe and hang out with an elephant.
And it was rescued from like a circus or something.
Yeah, it was a retired circus elephant. I think his name was Buster or Butch, and he was just beautiful. And I learned so much, and you'll love this. You know, another word for elephant is pachyderm, right?
Pachyderm, yes.
Do you know what pachyderm translates to? I think it's Latin. Do you know what it means?
No.
It means thick skin.
Oh, that's thick skin.
That's unbelievable.
That was changed the name of the show
I almost
to pachyderm.
I couldn't believe it.
That's crazy.
It's like my whole life, my whole thing came full circle. And then I actually got to touch this elephant, and the skin is, I guess from cartoons or movies, you think it's going to be soft, and it was really like coarse.
It was like a wall.
And thick. Mm-hmm. And I kind of got it. You know, it was like, yeah, the elephants really, truly are not just they remember and all the things you hear about elephants, but they can take it. They have thick skin.
Well, and if anyone's ever has to buy a gift for you, you're a very easy guy to buy a gift for, because speaking of collecting, you collect elephants, and for a while you were only collecting them
With the trunk up.
because your mother told you when you were a kid that they were good luck if
Right.
if an elephant had his trunk up. But
Right.
you've now embracing all range. I guess it means they're happy if the trunk is up.
Right.
But you're now embracing all ranges of emotions, and emotions, and you have elephants with trunks and all.
Well, my mom, she used to say if the trunk was up, it was good luck, and I would always collect those sorts of tchotchkes,
Right.
elephant statues, elephant paintings with the trunk up, and they're in both of my homes. And then my managers, Amy and Willie, gave me the artist Eames.
Eames, who did the Eames chair, and it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, so they gave me an Eames piece of art of an elephant, like a sculpture.
Yeah.
I think it's made out of leather, and I was so touched by it, but I was also a little put off initially because the trunk was down. I was like, wow, what do I do with this? I mean, it's a very sweet gift. How could it have bad juju? They have only the sweetest intentions in giving me this amazing birthday present. And I didn't know what to say. I didn't even thank them right away. I was sort of, something wasn't sitting right with me. I was in a conundrum. And I was laying in bed, and I was thinking about my mom and how she would say that. And then I thought about the gift and how sweet that was. And it occurred to me that my mom didn't know as much about elephants as we know now. Not all elephants have to be happy.
All the time.
Some elephants are miserable. Some are just hanging out. And who am I to tell an elephant how to feel? So I decided that I love this Ames gift,
Yeah.
and that I would learn to love all elephants, not just ones with the trunks up.
Well, embracing, as you said, the range of emotions. They have emotions like human beings.
Right.
Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're not.
Sometimes you just take a giant shit, which I also saw. I don't think you've truly lived till you've seen an elephant shit and piss. It is unbelievable.
Too much information. But thanks for sharing.
Do you want to hear more about the Safari Club? This is very
Yes.
interesting stuff.
Yeah, yes.
The convention's in Reno, Nevada, so
Well, don't
we
give
can
them
always
too much
see
of
how
a plug.
classy that is. Well, I mean, it's not really a plug because the people who are going already know about it.
Well, that's true.
The Safari Club International Convention is the world's biggest wildlife killing market. A staggering 870 companies will be selling trophy hunting holidays and wildlife body parts, including animal heads, at this convention. The Safari Club International has spent an astonishing $140 million since 2000 lobbying against laws that stop trophy hunting, or what it calls protecting the freedom to hunt. Trophies are traded by American hunters in the past decade, including endangered right whales, hawksaw bill turtles, bald eagles, chimpanzees, sloth bears, and gray parrots. All things that should not be allowed to be traded. And we know that Trump himself has made it
much easier to import this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely shameful. It's just the way it's just
Yeah. The previous SCI conventions
reprehensible.
have seen companies selling canned lions,
oh.
where tame lions are bred and shot for enclosures at low cost trophies. So it's like basically lions at the end of their life. Like remember the dentist who shot the lion?
Cecil, the lion.
Yeah. That's basically what they sell, as well as legal wildlife body parts for trinkets and furniture, including benches made from elephant skin, paintings on elephant ears, and a hippo skull table and shark skin belts. It's like shit the devil would wear in Texas. Like, it's just,
Wow.
It's fucking crazy.
If you have this stuff, just cherish it. Don't try to get new ones.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, 30-something years ago, my sister went to Niger as a teacher to learn about that culture and to spread some American goodwill. You know, while she was in college, before she became a special ed teacher, she was teaching kids in Africa for a semester, and she wanted to get me a special gift, and she brought back a drum, an African drum, which she carried on the plane for me, and she knew I loved elephants and my mother loved elephants, My mother was gone, so she gave me a tusk, an elephant, but it's carved, and within the elephant tusk, it's over a foot long, is other elephants. They're elephants, a family of elephants carved into this beautiful piece of ivory. And we didn't know any better. You know, we know now that you wouldn't do that, but it's kind of like a fur coat. What do you do with the old ones? You just have to sort of...
Well, I'll tell you why you don't wear them, because it makes it a fashion statement, and it makes it, you know,
Right.
that people think that's all right to you know, the.
But should I hide my carved elephant tusk? No, I display it because it's beautiful, and it wasn't. We didn't know any better back then. We didn't know 30 years ago what we know now. We weren't as emotionally attached. We didn't see YouTube videos of poachers. We just thought maybe elephant. I was a kid. Maybe elephants they grow back these tusks, and I got one, and it's from Africa, and that's really cool. And it made me love elephants because it's all I knew about them. So, you know, we evolve.
Don't travel with it.
Well, some people evolve, and then you've got the this, what's it called, the safari.
Safari Club International.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if I saw a poacher, I would use that tusk to stab them.
It would be very appropriate.
What's next? Come on, let's talk about something fun.
Oh, this is fun. We got another animal story, but it's a fun one. A chunky owl was rescued by Suffolk County Sanctuary after
Who?
being too fat to fly.
Who?
Yeah,
It's
an
a-
owl. An owl. It's too fat to fly.
Who?
Oh, who?
yes.
Very good.
The plump the owl, they call it, was discovered in a ditch in Suffolk County Sanctuary. Sadly, the feathered friend was dubbed too fat to fly. This is from Unilad. While it's not unheard of for cats and dogs to end up in a rather chunky, the owl sanctuary said it is extremely unusual for the bird to become so overweight. He must have been a great killer.
No, what
Right.
happened was there was an overpopulation of mice and other rodents and things.
Oh, so you know about this.
So yes, so he was able to feed. If it's an animal story, I know about it.
Yeah.
So he was able to feed, you know, like the smorgasbord base. It was an all-you-could-eat buffet at Las Vegas for him.
Yeah.
And he got pleasingly plump, but he couldn't fly. So they took him in. They put him on a diet. He lost the weight and took off and flying. And
now he's training other owls.
it's just,
He's a success story.
Here's a video of the owl being released.
yeah.
Oh, so cute.
Oh, there he is. He flies.
Yeah.
I love owls. I listen to my owls every night right
That's
outside my
fabulous.
window. I can hear them mating. I can hear them talking to each other.
In Japan, they have owl cafes where you can go interact with owls, and they're very well, I believe that to be, they're very well cared for and that sort of thing.
Wow.
And they can be a very affectionate, you know, they love to be petted and scratched
Really?
like a cat. Yeah.
Really? Owl cafes.
Owl cafes, they have, in Japan, they've got everything. They've
Wow.
got cat cafes where you can go in and pet.
I'll have a cat burger and a side of owl. No, you don't eat them. You just hang out with them.
I don't think, thank God, I don't think owls are, I've never heard of anywhere eating owls.
It's like David Tell says. It's like a chicken that reads.
Wait,
All right, what's next?
All right, one more animal story for us. A roving band of herpes-ridden monkeys is now roaming northeast Florida. That's right. There is a bunch of STD-riddled macaques that has previously been in Silver Spring State Park near Ocala, Florida, but are now being spotted miles away in Jacksonville, St. John, St. Augustine,
What?
Palatka.
Wait a minute. What kind of monkey are they?
The macaques.
Macaques. Well, that's
Yeah.
the perfect name for a herpes-infected
Yeah.
monkey, isn't it?
The macaques have herpes.
Yeesh.
Did you run into any of them at the Super Bowl?
How do monkeys get herpes?
They carry herpes
Does
B.
Courtney love fucking monkeys again?
They're an invasive species to South Florida from Southeast Asia. The monkeys were introduced to the area in the 1930s by local cruise operator Colonel Tui's Jungle Cruise. Oh, I was on a Jungle Cruise. They released 12 monkeys over a series of years, and now there's over 300. and they've escaped from the zoo, and they're all over Florida. They've been spotted all over Florida now. So don't fuck these monkeys.
What's the point of the story?
Well, they should wear condoms.
There's herpes monkeys all over Florida. Monkeys with herpes.
What's the point of any of this, actually?
What's the point of ever going back to Florida? Like, how was your trip? Oh, I got raped by a herpes monkey.
I got herpes from a monkey.
All right. I don't know. Be careful out there, folks.
don't
Florida, you never know what's coming at you.
Here we go. This will get you to chill out over it or make you more paranoid.
Yeah.
This is from CBS. Scientists, they found a marijuana compound that could be 30 times more powerful than THC. Yeah, that's right. A newly discovered cannabis compound has been shown to be in a lab potentially 30 times more potent than THC, most studied psychoactive compound in marijuana. They call it THCP, and it delivers 30 times the high of THC. There's also the same type of thing with CBD. So do you need your weed to be 30 times more potent, Jeff?
Why would anybody want that?
It seems like it goes against everything that
Weed's supposed to mellow you out, right?
Don't ask me.
Have you ever smoked weed in your life?
Never in my life. Never had a joint. The only, as close as I've come is just inhaling the air around this place.
So how come you never smoked weed, Bernie?
Okay, I can actually answer that because I smoked cigarettes from the time I was 15 till the time I was about 30.
Okay.
And I was so angry at myself for becoming addicted to cigarettes. It kept me away. It was actually a good thing because it kept me away from everything else. So I thought, well, I was mad at myself for becoming addicted to something. So I've never had a beer. I've never had a cup of coffee.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I could be a Mormon. Yeah, I've never had, you know, and this place.
You've never had a cup of coffee?
I've never had a cup of coffee.
Doesn't it smell good to you? Or?
Yes, it does actually smell good to
Aren't
me.
you curious?
No.
But, I mean, what would happen if you tried coffee?
Well, I'll tell you where it really smelled good. When you had that pop-up, you had the Roastmasters, and the aroma of that stuff that Eddie was brewing there was really... I love smelling it, but I don't know. It just didn't. It's not something. And then I read, one time it's supposed to be good for you, and then another time you
But
read
just
something.
to try a cup of coffee.
All right, we'll go upstairs.
No
and
one
have
says
one.
you have to. Yeah, I want to do that.
You gave me that roasted coffee.
You've never tried coffee.
I've never had a cup of coffee.
All right, I'm gonna go make you a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. will you try it one right now?
Right now?
Just take a sip.
I mean, it's not going to be anything special.
Yeah, but he's never had coffee.
Yeah.
Well, but then I can't say I've never had coffee anymore. I mean, it would ruin the case. Now I'm going to have to put an asterisk by it. I have never had coffee except Jeff Ross made me sip one.
On the podcast.
On the podcast.
I'd rather you smoke a joint.
Oh no, I wouldn't. I'll take the coffee. I'll take the coffee.
Yeah, let's try a bunch of stuff. Bring in the herpy monkey.
Release the monkeys.
Give them some coffee and some of that high-powered weed. Let's party. All right, you don't have to try coffee. We won't peer pressure.
No
you.
peer pressure. No peer pressure.
All right. I want to jump in the pool before it gets too dark.
All right.
Which means we have to pay tribute to our roast in peace.
This week, Roast in Peace, we're honoring the San Francisco 49ers, the losers of Super Bowl 54.
This was a classic American tale, folks. Gold miners versus the Native Americans they stole their land from. The Kansas City Chiefs. The 49ers lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs. It's only fitting that a town full of gay culture lost to one of the Village People. The Chiefs will be celebrating at Disneyland, and the 49ers will be sulking at SeaWorld. It's okay, San Francisco can go back to what it's best at, thinking they're better than everyone else while making their cops and teachers too poor to have homes.
Oh wow.
Roast and penalties, San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, poor guys.
Thanks for coming by, Bernie,
My
Ed.
pleasure,
Great
pal.
show.
You too, bud. It was a lot of fun
It's
today.
always fun.
A lot of
Bernie,
fun.
I love seeing you, man.
Thank
Always
you,
a
Eddie.
pleasure.
Right back at you.
You could check out Bernie Shine.
BernieShine.com.
BernieShine.com. And where can you get some of that cool ass merch you sell?
Oh, that's ShineGallery.com. Yeah, the vintage memorabilia.
It's really cool stuff. At least go check it out because it's at least interesting to go look at and see if and they make great little surprise gifts for people who love rare toys and pennants and all kinds of cool
All
things.
kinds of
You're
stuff.
a cool
you don't
guy,
need.
Bernie.
Thank you.
You're a what do they call a bon vivant? Is that a thing?
I don't know. Let me go look that up. And don't call me that again until I have a chance to look that up.
You're a good guy.
All right. You can go to roastmastergeneral.com for all things Jeff Ross. You can also go there to pick up your emotional support human shirt. They are available there on the merch page. Also, you can grab the I'm Offended by People Who Are Always Offended baseball tees and mugs.
Cool.
Bumping Mics, the vinyl is on Amazon. You could pick that up there, which is a really cool collector's piece to own and to bring to one of the great Bumping Mike shows to get Jeff and Dave to sign for you. No one has done that yet. I would love to see that on this tour. And you guys are back on the road and you're hitting it hard. You're going to March 13th. You're going to be in Milwaukee at the Pabst Theater. And March 14th, you're going to be in Chicago at the Genesee Theater.
Cool.
Or Genesee. I can never say that word right. April 3rd, Des Moines, Iowa. Get your shit together, Iowa, and check out Jeff and Dave at Hoyt Sherman Place. On the 4th, you're going to be in Kansas City, Missouri. That's going to be a happy show.
That'll be good.
At the Uptown Theater. And then on the 16th, you're going to be in Morristown, New Jersey at the Mayo Performing Arts Center. On the 17th in Terrytown, New York. I love Terrytown, by the way. It's a nice place. Terrytown Music Hall. And on April 18th, you're going to be in Munhall, Pennsylvania at the Carnegie of Homestead Music Hall. And then you guys got 4 big shows at Brea Improv on April 24th and 25th. 2 shows a night. That's going to be a fucking
Bumping
hoot.
Mics in a comedy club. We're warming up for some other big shows. So, yeah, man, I love it. Shout out to Dave Attell, who's also on the road. Love that guy.
And then this weekend, days from now, you can check out Jeff on February 6th through 8th in Phoenix. We got 5 shows. On the 6th, he's going to be at CB Live. That's a Thursday. And Friday and Saturday, you're going to be at Stand Up Live. Come check that out. Come see us there. I'm going to be hosting those shows. And also, you can pick up your emotional support human shirts there.
Right.
We'll have them on hand. So come get them, baby. And keep an eye on the calendar for more dates because they are a-coming. Check out Jeff on Cameo. He will make personalized videos for you there and your loved ones. Rate and review Thick Skin with Jeff Ross on iTunes and Spotify and anywhere else where you listen to the great show of ours. You can email us your questions, your answers, your gripes, your compliments at thickskinwithjeffross@gmail.com. Twitter, we're at thickskincast. Instagram, thickskin with Jeff Ross. Real Jeffrey Ross on Twitter and Instagram. And Twitter, I am at EddieTunes_. Instagram, EddieTunes, EddieTunes. And you can check out my other podcast, The Brighter Side, on the Last Podcast Network.
Keep your chin up. Life is hard. We're getting through it together. Lots of love, and we will see you real soon. Bye. Damn. I'm in New York, talking the talk. I'm doing the podcast, full tank of gas. I got Cousin Ed and Gary too. I got the thick skin blues. Having a drink. My armpits stink.
Hey.
I'm feeling so good, I'm in the hood. I don't want it to end. I got the thick skin blues.
Thick skin blues. And blues. And blues.